10 reasons why the first 5 years of your retirement will make or break you. Guys, leave me some comments. For those of you who are maybe in the midst of this first 5 years, how you feeling? Any big changes? Let us know. Be honest about it, because I'm telling you, those first 5 years are so much more important than, say, 15 years down the road in retirement. It's a big time span. So here are 10 reasons why it's so important. Number one, sequence of returns risk. I know people that watch my channel all the time hear me talk about this all the time because it happened to me. 6 months into retirement, the market started tanking. I ultimately lost $110,000 in a year and a half. I retired with just over $500,000, as most of you know. That hurt. But you know what really helped me? Why I didn't lose even more? Because I had cash on hand. I had a little over 2 years worth of expenses in my cash on hand. That will really help you guys. If you take two separate examples, one person retires on $500,000, good market for 5 years. You have another person who retired with $500,000, bad market 6 months into it like me. Check them out about 10 years down the road. You know what? Because I went through sequence of returns risk, I'll probably be at least a couple hundred, maybe $300,000 less than that person that had smooth sailing because they didn't take the hit. In the first 5 years, guys, that can change everything. To alleviate that somewhat, make sure you have at least 2 years of cash on hand so you don't have to totally dip into your investments, because that takes out a lot for compounding to work on. That can significantly impair your retirement. Someone who didn't go through that 10 years from now is going to be a lot better off than I will be. Believe me, I don't like to say it, but it's true. Number two, divorce. Why do I say divorce? Try spending 24/7 with your spouse now, as opposed to when you were working nights and weekends. That can change a lot of dynamics. Again, in my case, and I'm not even married, I go back and forth to see my girlfriend in LA every couple of weeks. We never lived together. Now we live together for a week or two at her place in LA. Yeah, that's brought up some things. That's brought up some things I hadn't noticed in 24 years we've been together. It can cause some conflicts. We have had to compromise a lot more than we ever did before, okay? Believe me, for those of you who are married, we're talking 24/7, all day, all night, forever. If you can't get through those conflicts that will come up, believe me, guys, I didn't think it would for my relationship. It will come up. Divorce. You get divorced, there goes half your retirement savings. You talk about ruining your retirement in the first 5 years if you get a divorce? Yeah, that can happen easily. You got to talk this over with your spouse before you retire. Say, hey, we're going to be spending a lot more time together, honey bun, schnookums, sweetie pie. We got to learn to live with each other for that additional amount of time. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a channel for retiring on moderate income. If that's something you think you might like the video, and think about subscribing too. And down here are 2 more ways that you can support this channel. Number 3, you will not believe the amount of comments I've got from people in the 3+ years I've been doing my channel now about healthcare. Before retirement kicks in at 65, I have some people telling me they are not going to get health care. Let's say they retire at 63 for 2 years because it's too expensive. What's going to happen to you if you do that and you have some kind of catastrophic, health event? Where's your retirement savings going to go then? Guys, I beg of you, okay? I know healthcare can be expensive before Medicare. ACA, it is still working for me, even though we had some big changes this year. And in a couple weeks, I will give you my updated new charges for my monthly ACA, okay? Please don't go without health care. I can't tell you the amount of people that have told me that in comments. Some I've replied to, some I'm just shaking my head. It's like, that's the last thing you want to do. You have, let's say, $750,000 in the bank, and all of a sudden, boom, you get in a car accident. God forbid, don't want to say that, just jinxing people, But what happens and you have no health insurance and you're in the hospital for 2-3 weeks? How much of that $750 are you going to have left? Don't go without health insurance, please. Number 4, relocation/downsizing mistakes. You could, you could be retiring at 67 and you have grandkids and you want to move to be closer to your grandkids, right? What happens 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, where you're not seeing your grandkids any more than you were before you moved for various reasons, right? And the place that you're at, you don't like. The main reason you moved there was to see your grandkids. Now you found out you don't like this place. You sold your main house. You bought the new place that you downsized to for cash, and you don't like it, and you're not seeing your grandkids any more than you were when you were 500 miles away. And you don't like it, and you want to move back. How much money have you lost in buying that house? You might not be able to sell it for what you paid for it, right? There's all kinds of stuff that can come up. You just might have downsized and, you just don't like the area. I mean, there's someone that gets up in your next door neighbor because you didn't research it well enough at 4 in the morning because they have to go deliver items at sunrise, whatever it is. They're up at 4 in the morning and you hear them start their car, their big V8 every morning. Okay, you can make significant mistakes. Just research, guys. Research. So you don't waste all that money downsizing and then find out you don't like it. That can significantly impact you down the road when you don't have as much money because you downsize and you use your money for that. Number 5, if you spend too much too soon. This happens a lot, guys. Think about it. You're retired. You've been saving for 30, 40 years, maybe 20, 25, whatever it is. You're sitting on this big pot of money and you're like, you know what? I can finally access this with no penalty. You go crazy. 5 years later, you look at your balance, it's half of what it was when you retired. Be very careful. This is especially for us on moderate income. If you have $8 million in the bank, maybe you don't need to worry about it as much. But for those of us on moderate income, guys, take that big vacation when you retire and maybe take one per year. Don't go crazy. That will really ruin your retirement down the road. Let's say you're 78 and you're just getting by on Social Security now. Yeah, that's a big one. Dare I say huge one. Number 6, if you decide to take Social Security, let's say you retire at 62, you take Social Security at 62, and you haven't really thought it out. Okay, you think, well, I got enough money and the Social Security, it'll take care of me for 30 years on the amount that I'm going to get at 62. Yes, you do get the COLA adjustments every year. But what happens if we have huge inflation, or what happens if you didn't really figure out the amount of money that you needed and it was incorrect amount? How are you going to be feeling 15 years down the road when you're just skimping by because most of your money is gone and your Social Security started out at a low level instead of waiting to 67 to take it? So deciding when you take Social Security can really make or break your retirement down the road. Number, what am I on? 6, 7? I think I'm on 7. Poor health choices. The older you get, the harder it is to turn that around. There's some people who say, when I'm going to retire, man, I'm going to do nothing all day long. Okay, how's that going to look on your body a year and a half into it when you're laying on the couch all day long? At 63 and then 65, you develop heart issues because you're not moving. You develop high blood pressure. This is stuff, the older you get, the harder it is for you to recover from this, right? So guys, you can't just be a couch potato, okay? You can't just eat McDonald's all day long because you're retired and you think you can. Be very smart with your health choices, or that can really affect you down the road. Number 8, you decide whether or not you're going to work part-time side hustle right after you retire. Why do people do this? Well, number 1, it's because if you can get some money coming in, you're taking less money away from your investments. Guys, I took out a 4.2% of my investments my first year of retirement because of my cash on hand and my YouTube income. I took nothing out in 2023. nothing out in 2024 from my investments. This year I've taken out 2%, or 2025. My investments have remained higher because I have a part-time income. That means compounding can grow on a larger amount. That can be a big effect for you down the road, letting your investments grow, okay? So that's a big thing. Do I work? Do I not? Number 9, boredom can lead to unwise investing decisions. What do I mean by that? Well, here's what I mean. You're sitting around all day doing nothing, right? You're watching reruns of Matlock and Magnum PI all day long. You're bored, man. I've got this money sitting in the bank. I want to do something exciting. I'm going to go all in on crypto. Or maybe not even all in, but I'm going to take a significant portion of my money, put it into crypto. I'm going to take a significant amount of my money and put it into individual stocks because you're bored. You want that excitement, right? Be very careful with that. If you're doing that, make sure it's a small amount of your investments, less than 5%. Okay, guys? Because that can really affect you down the road because you're 63, bored out of your mind, and you put 30% of your investments in an individual stock that didn't pan out. How are you going to be 10 years down the road? Yeah, that can really ruin your life later on. Number 10, this is a basic one. The habits you create when you first retire, say at 62, 58, 55 even, those are the habits that are going to live with you for the rest of your life. The older you get, the harder it is to break bad habits. If you are choosing bad habits when you first retire, that can really affect you down the road, whether it's your money, whether it's your health, even your emotions, okay? So choosing the right habits, exercising, being conservative, not spending too much, psychologically being in a good spot because of what you're doing, where you've decided to live, that can really make or break you down the road. Okay, guys, there's a myriad of questions or circumstances that can apply to. But just in general, be very careful, guys, with the habits you create right after you retire, or that can really, really affect you down the line. It could make or break you. And as always, from the lovely high desert, where today it is about 66, January 26th, I think, 25th, I don't know. That's the good thing about retirement, man. It doesn't matter what day it is, right? And as always, we got this.